Playing a hostile environment. I think their fans were engaged and it was electrifying. I think we only had probably about 50 or 60 folks up in the bleachers, but we were appreciative of those that came and supported us. But I thought our guys played well. We showed a lot of poise and resilience, playing on the road and in a hostile environment. And defensively, I thought that we took away what they wanted to do. We stopped the run and took away their best player. And then offensively, we controlled the clock. And we were able to put a lot of points on the board early and often. So I was pleased with the win.
Awesome.
A lot of corrections we had to make after this last game. But, it's about us, and we just have to take it one game at a time and work to improve.
Awesome, Coach. Those are the questions I have for you. We'll now flip to the media, starting with Dr. Cavill.
Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Doc. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I know as a media person, not necessarily supposed to be excited, but I was excited about how the Eagles played in this matchup, top 25 team, at least at the time. Talk a little bit about what you were able to do with your defensive side of the ball. A team that passed heavy, obviously stopped the run, but fared pretty well in terms of what they were able to do against you all in the air.
Well, we came in with the mindset that we had to take away that running game. And they had a heck of a run game, the way they try to attack you, on the perimeter as well as in between the tackles. So we said, regardless, we've got to take away the run and make them throw the football. So, Coach Cord and the defensive staff had a great game plan, and we executed that. So the second half, we kind of made them one-dimensional, and they wanted to go more one back and spread us out and throw the football. So we wanted to keep it in front of us. We knew we were going to give them some yards in the passing game. But again, we held them to, I think, 65 yards rushing. And when you can do that, it's hard for people to beat you.
On the road, it's important to get good starts. You started out in the first quarter with scoring 21 points, but you were consistent in terms of being able to score each quarter. Talk about the momentum phases in that game, specifically getting off to such a good start on the road.
That was, something we've been preaching all offseason. And the staff and I, we really did some research trying to see how we can improve our starts, because last year we were down, a lot of first quarters at halftime. So we spent a lot of time and effort trying to, come with a plan to get our guys starting faster. And, part of it was, we had a 2-hour drive that morning to get to the stadium. And, I look at, we about 20 minutes out, and I look back in the back of the bus, and the whole team is asleep. So, I had to get up and walk up and down the aisle and waking guys up. We about to go to war, guys, for 15 minutes. And, these guys over here drooling and mouth open. So, I had to call the other coach on the other buses to make sure the guys were awake. But I thought we had a, good game plan offensively, and we knew how we wanted to attack them. And at the end of the day, it was about those guys executing. And I think our playmakers made plays, and we had another great game up front with the offensive line. I have some suggestions, and I think, usually my suggestions don't even work. So I tell those guys, don't even listen to me. But I can't say enough about my coaching staff. We had a lot of turnover, and these guys that we have in here have done an outstanding job. And I have a great staff. And my support staff, from operations to the trainers, they had the guys hydrated. It's so much bigger than me. I'm just a little piece of the puzzle. But I thought the big difference in the game were halftime adjustments. I thought we had our initial game plan coming in was good. We knew that they were going to have a 1-2 punch. So second half, we came out, and I thought our halftime adjustments, especially defensively, were outstanding. They moved the ball quite a bit in that first half, and I think they had a 96-yard drive. And then we come out in the second half, and I believe holding digs. So Coach Cord had the guys playing with great effort, and our run fits were there. So just keep the ball in front of us, the passing game, and we didn't care about the passing yards. As long as we keep them out of the end zone.
Your best players. And we got to get creative as coaches to make sure we put those guys in position to make plays. I think we'll see a different type of offense and how we use him as we go forward in Saturday's game. We met as a staff and talked about different ways that we can utilize him and get him in position to make plays and play to his strengths. We also got some receivers that we feel like can make plays, but we saw the defense they was playing. They put everybody back 7-8 yards. It's kind of hard to throw the ball, when you got guys sitting off 7-8 yards. We had a chance to throw bubbles all day long. We missed some reads, dropped some balls, and that put us behind the sticks. So it's all about executing. If we execute the game plan that we feel like we're going to have on Saturday, I think we'll have a chance to have more explosive plays, and hopefully he's one of those guys that be very explosive for us.
I also want to say congratulations to Coach Wilson on his first win at Morgan, and we're excited for him and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where we're at.
Well, glad you got to watch some football Saturday.
Mm-hmm. A&T, we back on the road again. Back on that's the wrong song. Anyway, it's going to be tough. A&T is 0-3, and everybody thinks that they just awful. And I can tell you, there's nothing further from the truth. They're about as good as they. If you look at their stats from the 3 games that they played, they're almost even in most of the critical categories, except for actual scoring. But when you start talking about total offense and defensive averages and that kind of stuff, A&T still A&T. And you can imagine how riled they'll be their first home game after having gone on the road for 3 weeks and gotten beaten. And when you lose at North Dakota and Duke, Central is as good as any of those guys right now. Then, they've got, a legitimate chance to be the same kind of team they've been in the past. And I think, they'll probably still win the Big South. So we got our work cut out for us. We've got to really be up on our game in order to be able to go in there. But they've beaten us 6 times in a row. I mean, it's a pretty safe bet that they got our number. We've got all we can handle trying to figure those guys out. So that's our deal at this point.
All right, Coach. Those are the questions I have for you. We'll now open it up to the media with the first question coming from Mr. James Hill.
Good morning, Coach.
You ought to be there. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out, rivalry-style kind of game. We played these guys, forever. And, it's always a hard-nosed, tough football game. And, we thought we had them last year. They've beaten us up so many years in the past. And we went for a long time winning games against A&T, and all of a sudden they got the tides turned on us. And Coach Sam Washington, is one of the top coaches in, HBCU ball, in college and FCS ball, period. And they do a great job of designing both their offensive and defensive attacks, and special teams game, in a way that they've got most times an advantage of some sort. So. This will be I think maybe a big game, not only for both teams, but also attendance-wise for the fans. The South Carolina State folk love to travel to Greensboro. It's a joyous, wonderful occasion. And you can pretty much bet that it'll be darn near packed at this Saturday night on Saturday evening. On, their share of HBCU national championships, and the last couple for sure that way. We thought that we had a great plan, to get into the Celebration Bowl years back, and these guys continuously stymied us. They just kind of, beat us to the punch in a whole lot of different ways. And, I'm jealous of these guys. They've done some things, and they were our conference mates for they were charter members of our league. They've now kind of moved on. I don't know exactly where they're headed. They've been to the Big South for a while. They moved down to, they talking about going to the CAA. Wherever they can run, but they can't hide. We're going to find them and play them. Wherever they are, pretty much. Them, Bethune, FAMU, those guys, we just feel like, it's just a big part of our existence to be able to continue to compete against these guys. So we just look forward to seeing them all wherever they are. And Fowler, is a local guy. He's from our state. Yeager, has been a player. I don't know who they're going to play, James. They've been a little bit non-committal about, the exact situation of the injury. Yeager, what do you hear? We think was their guy, up until he got banged around a little bit out of North Dakota. Did not play this past week against Duke. So we'll see, but both guys are athletic kind of guys. They're big-time playmakers. I think the skill set's similar for all three of the guys that you possibly see because, they've got another guy or two in the mix. But at this point right now, we don't know. It's always a game of any kind of advantage you can find. We all hunting any kind of little something that we can kind of hang our hat on as far as ways to, gain some sort of advantage. And it's been in the kicking game a good many of those games. They get a play or two somehow or another and make a play. We faked the field goal last year at the end of the game. And we were going for the tie there, and we lined up and thought we had it and didn't quite execute it, didn't make the play, and they ended up winning the football game, kept the football away from us for the remainder of the time that way. But, back 6 years ago, we faked a punt right in the game. We were up by a couple points and still hadn't quite figured out exactly what happened there. But I tell you, that seemed to have started it all. From that point on, we've been cursed. we've been trying to figure out exactly what happened. And so we're trying to figure it out. I guess we've got to win a game at A&T again. We gave them a game in Orangeburg years back. And it's our job now to go back and take it back from them up in Greensboro. So the pain that we felt for all these years that we've had, this last run of theirs, is one that we've got to figure out how to, see if we can go up there and take back on our side. Yeah, for one above the other, Lou, I think we they are all similar skill set wise. None of them's a great runner, but they're all decent athletes. And they can all throw the football around pretty well. So the good thing about it is they're not like one guy's a great runner and not quite such a good passer, vice versa. So, I think that makes it a little bit easier for us to prepare for them. But we got no clue right now exactly what's coming out of their camp, as far as which guy they'll play on Saturday.
You're entertainment early.
Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle, INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of MAC4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of MAC4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of MAC4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representation.